Alright, the wait's over. I've recorded this video twice, and both the audio files make me fall asleep or want to smash my goddamn editing software. So no more excuses, no more excessive history for no real reason. Today, we're explaining the oracles of Dead Space. No more delays. Hang on a second, let me just make sure I'm not crazy. In the Dead Space universe exists a group known only as the Oracles. No one seems to know exactly who they are, where they came from, or what their purpose is. The only explanation for the Oracles I've found is fanfiction.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
And a very loose collection of Oracle appearances and actions on the fandom website. Which I really don't trust fandom, but I couldn't find anything really off about what they had put up there. So it's not a bad reference, but I'm not really going to be using that. Through my investigation and research, I have figured out the Dead Space Oracles. They're basically the Men in Black of the Dead Space universe and have a plan to kill all the Brethren moons and solve every problem and keep humanity safe. Everything's over. So, you know what? Mystery solved, video over, we're done. 3 minutes, roll the credits. What's that? You want proof? This is the internet. I don't have to prove anything. But I did go through a lot of research, play every game, read all the books, comics. Okay, I didn't play the mobile game or the puzzle game, but goddamn it, I don't have a way of playing the mobile game, and that puzzle game looks stupid. And I did make Jeff play Extraction with me, so I'll show you what led me to this conclusion, I guess. Now, the first time we get any mention of the Oracles is in Dead Space Extraction, when Eckhart sent a message to Enigma Lang using the codename Oracle.
Now, let's hear that again.
This is Overseer Eckhart, code word Oracle, with a message for Enigma Lang.
Now, in the message, he says the marker is genuine and has found a person they suspect on Aegis 7 who is immune to the effects of the marker. Now, when I was doing the initial research, I lost my freaking mind at this. Right there and then. I knew I was onto something. Right there. Oracles confirmed. I'm not crazy. Fuck you people who think Unitology started the Oracles. From this message, I figured out the Oracles had people inside at the top of Unitology, and they knew about the marker before the colony found it on Aegis 7. And were not part of Unitology. An Enigma in Unitology is one of the top few people. It's like, they're the top. They're the top people. There's only 3 of them. Now, that's according to fandom. I don't know where that's found in the Dead Space lore anywhere, but... Now, Lang is the name of the Enigma who reports to the Oracles about what Unitology is doing, and if they've recovered a marker or uncovered any information about the Sovereign Colonies era marker projects. The Oracles knew about the marker on Aegis 7 because they were behind the Sovereign Colony Administration's Red Marker project that put it there. We find this out in the book Dead Space Catalyst several years after the Black Marker incident. In that book, we find out the Sovereign Colonies Administration built 3 red markers using the research gained from Michael Altman and the Black Markets incident, and the research conducted by the Oracle predecessors who believed the Black Marker was trying to evolve humanity into a higher form. But they thought it was damaged and not working properly, so they decided to build their own and quote-unquote fix it to work right under the guise of using it as a means of producing energy. But it all went to shit fast, and they figured out the marker was never broken and worked exactly as it was meant to, and they did just what it wanted them to do. Once they discovered Tau Volantis and the Brethren Moons, they fucking shit themselves and wiped the Sovereign Colonies Administration of knowledge, evidence, and anything related to the marker, and put all the research and effort into stopping the moons and keeping humanity from markers forever. As discovered in I read Dead Space Martyr, and that's a better book, but it doesn't... You get what I'm saying. I read 2 books for that. Good luck finding Martyr, and good luck reading Catalyst. Now, part of the research the Oracles have been conducting is immunity to the marker signal. That's why Eckhart was so interested in Lexine in Dead Space Extraction. He's not a full Oracle, just like a lower-level probie agent who probably thought he was working for the church, as like a guise as to what he was really doing. They wanted someone immune to the marker because they haven't figured out a way to block the marker signal. Even after several hundred years of research, they still don't know a good way to block the signal. They only know how to extend the marker's dead space signal that keeps necromorphs from triggering convergence early. Now, we know this from text logs found on the Ishimura on a dead scientist talking about a way to extend the signal, and from the comic Dead Space Liberation when Danik destroying the marker containment facility triggered a convergence event because the equipment amplifying the signal were destroyed. just like on the moon in the third game. If a random scientist figured it out in a matter of hours, then the Oracles probably figured that shit out way back fucking in the beginning, after the events of Dead Space Catalyst, and eventually leaked it to EarthGov for their post-Titan Station marker projects. More on that in a bit. The next time we see Oracle agents is in the comic Dead Space Salvage. Now, this is the first time we see the Oracles in their commonly known form. White clothes, advanced technology, talking in riddles. Okay, not as bad as, like, some people, but you get what I'm saying. And a ring that can somehow project telepathic power and kill a person with brain damage. Now, they show up after Isaac made a hole-in-one with a rock and a plasma cutter. The EarthGov Secretary of Defense is unaware of their purpose and says he didn't realize there was Oracle activity in the area. The Oracles also state there are authorities higher than even the EarthGov Secretary at work. Now, this proves the Oracles aren't under EarthGov. Throughout the comic, we also get to see the power of an actual fully armed operational battle station. Throughout the comic, we get to see the power of an actual Oracle agent. They have a ring that can telepathically damage a person's brain, basic protective rigs capable of spacewalks and enduring hazardous environments, and a handheld laser capable of cutting down necromorphs with ease. Even the Leviathan from the first game. Damn it, put up the footage of me and Jeff fucking suffering with that damn thing. Okay, I didn't have too big of a problem, but Jeff suffered so hard with that. Now, the only thing that kills them is at the end of the comic when they lose their laser and get slaughtered by a swarm of necromorphs. Because, I guess they walked through a teleporter and stuck his arm trying to stop the guy and it sliced off his hand, Now, this equipment proves they've been researching how to fight the necromorphs for a long time. They know exactly how to kill them. At this point in my investigation, I discovered the Oracles were behind the markers made by the Sovereign Colonies Administration, or SCAF, because only Dead Space Catalyst ever calls them Sovereign Colony Administration. They have been researching the markers' signal, bacteria, and ways to fight necromorphs since the Black Marker incident, and have been successful at keeping humanity from discovering anything about the markers outside of what they want people to know, through Unitology. They also control Unitology. They're not under EarthGov or Unitology, but they do have people and influence in both. Almost forgot, the influence they have in EarthGov is proven through Aegis 7 being off limits because the Oracles didn't want the marker there to be found. It's pretty simple. This is also how EarthGov knew there was something there from long ago left behind by the Sovereign Colony Administration, and that's why the Valor was so underprepared, because they didn't know what they were walking into. Even with the Ishimura scientist guys sending them a message, they still didn't know. All they knew was there was going to be some kind of hostile presence. And you know what? They're not so incompetent. They sent a scout. They sent Kendra in, who was supposed to scout it out, but, communications just aren't really her strong suit, you know what I'm saying? And they got fucked over. But that's not what this video is about, okay? I'm going to let Media Zealot cover EarthGov's retardedness, okay? He said he was going to do it. I trust what he's going to say. After Salvage, we only ever see the Oracles one more time in Dead Space 2 DLC Severed, which is pretty good DLC, even though it's only like an hour and a half if you waste time running around. Now, the reason for this is the creative mind who came up with the Oracles, Anthony Johnston, the only writer who was shared between all the forms of media with Oracles in it, except Severed, didn't work on Dead Space 2 or Severed. I'm not really sure why. I have no idea. I couldn't really find anything about it. I didn't really dig that deep. I DM'd him on Twitter, but I still haven't gotten anything from it. Yeah, editor Steven here. So Anthony Johnston actually got back with me over Twitter, and I found out he was just part of a team that came up with the Oracle storyline. And he says he didn't know where they were going to go with it. He told me to ask EA. So I DM'd the writer of the Dead Space remake, and I haven't heard anything from them. So that's kind of where we're at with that. But I did hear back from Anthony Johnston. But I'm sure EA had something to do with it, Oh yeah, those two guys who started Dead Space? Yeah, their whole concept was, let's just make System Shock 3. Because, if you think about Dead Space and System Shock 2, the basics are kind of similar. But I'm not talking about that. Now, in Dead Space 2 7, we see Oracle agents for the last time.
Gabe, they've almost found me. They're looking for me.
Lex, it's not safe to use this channel. Vic is tracking you with it. He's looking for you. Other soldiers?
No, the men in white. I don't know, they're different.
Thanks for the call, Lex. I'll be there soon.
You'll be fucking dead! Hold on, honey. I'm almost there.
No! Stop! Get your hands off me!
Lexi!
Gabe, help!
Get your hands off my wife, you bastard!
Not now, Weller! Why are you freaks following me? You heard Tideman. All key subjects are to be eliminated. Follow your orders.
Whose orders, Mr. Bartlett, and which key subjects?
We have our orders, Mr. Bartlett, and we are following them.
No! Who are you? Stay away from me! Gabe! No!
Gabe Weller. His purpose is done. It could be trouble.
Quickly, while she's still alive. The outbreak will take care of him. We cannot protect her with this many servants loose.
No! Lexine!
This time we see them recovering Lexine Weller, who is pregnant with her and Gabe Weller's child, the character from Dead Space Extraction, and taking her back to the gunship that Gabe had just brought there to get Lexine. But all we see them do really is take down Bartlett, stroll past Gabe getting strangled, and sacrifice themselves to keep Lexine safe. Damn it, woman, shut the door and let the gunship take you back to where the Oracle secret base is! I mean, Circe just stands there while they're getting murdered. I'm not really sure why they didn't have their lasers. I mean, it's because Anthony Johnston didn't write it, that's why. Now, from this, we conclude that EarthGov had no knowledge of the Oracle program's true purpose on Titan Station. They knew she was immune to the marker, probably from their debrief after getting back from the events of Extraction, and decided to use her and Gabe to make a child and eventually spread the gene that gives people marker signal immunity into the population and research what makes a person immune to the marker signal. That's what I assume the Oracles are doing. They play fucking 6D chess, so they probably are doing something different, but I don't know. That's my best conclusion for that. Now, where was I going? Oh, right. The Oracles used Lexine in the Titan Station Oracle program to keep tabs and track of progress made by EarthGov and know when to initiate the Titan Station breakout. The Oracles can't let EarthGov have the knowledge or the means of building markers, so they caused the outbreak on Titan Station using Carrie Norton via her handler, Tyler Vanderclough. I think that's his name. I'll put it up if that's wrong. And, various viruses put into the station's computers. Their main plan was to let the outbreak destroy the station, which would have happened if Carrie hadn't killed the creature on the reactor, just like if the Ishimura hadn't been stabilized, it would have let that rock crash into the planet and wipe away any evidence before anyone could even get to it. So, damn it, Isaac, why'd you have to save it? He did the job in the end. Side note, Carrie was recovered by the Oracles, just like Gabe Weller, who didn't die thanks to his suit. He would have died in about 15 seconds if he didn't have a built-in rig. Because goddammit, when all the arteries in your legs are severed, you got like 10-15 seconds before you bleed out. Come on! Also, they were gonna keep him alive, but because of the way Dead Space 3 came out, they decided not to. Now, if you haven't noticed, we've moved into theory territory. My favorite part. But we've gathered enough evidence and information to prove the Oracles are the Men in Black of this universe. Or the Men in White. I imagine that was something they were going for. As for the moons, well, that's going to take a bit of theorizing. At the end of Dead Space 2, we find out there are at least 11 more marker sites the Oracles had to clean up to keep EarthGov from causing a convergence event and killing all humans. So, what do? Well, they can't just take everything from EarthGov and do what they did to the Sovereign Colonies Administration. Because, they got to maintain secrecy. That's one of their number one goals, is secrecy. And at the same time, they can't let EarthGov know about the moons, because that would cause mass fucking panic. Even though that probably would have been better than what they did. I mean, it would have probably been better to warn Earth about what the hell was going on. At the same time, I imagine if they did that, Unitology would have found out, and what happened would have probably happened anyways. So, what did they decide to do? Well, from the only information we have from Dead Space 3 and the comic Dead Space Liberation, they clearly let an extremist, well-armed faction led by Danik, who was probably another Enigma, that's unconfirmed, let them learn all about the EarthGov sites so they can blow them up and free the markers. Whatever the hell that was supposed to mean. Or destroy them. But honestly, it takes a lot to destroy a marker. I don't know what Danik's real motives are. They're kind of all over the place. He unleashed an offensive. Danik unleashed an offensive across all of EarthGov, which according to Robert Norton, wipes out the EarthGov military. And according to events, destroyed all the marker test labs and research facilities, and the markers were left chilling in their facility rubble. Now, after destroying the moon's facility, the Earth's moon facility, all of Danik's forces go to Tal Volantis and get trapped by mines, as shown in the DLC for Dead Space 3. The one crazy pastor guy leading the cult you have to kill in Dead Space 3 is like, oh, we forgot about the mines in our haste and all blew up, except some of us. Which is something I don't think a lot of people realized. Now, based on what the Oracle mission of secrecy and keep humanity away from the markers, I believe they went in and recovered all the markers from the test sites and Keyhole Station, and either hid them or possibly used them to, like, locate the moons, the Brethren moons, you know what I'm saying? EarthGov is powerless, and Danik's extremists will have been trapped at Tal Volantis, so there'll be no witnesses and no one to stop them. But, as seen in the end of Dead Space 3 DLC, the moons find Earth anyways, and everyone dies. Give me right or everybody dies. And there you have it, the Dead Space Oracles. The Men in Black of the Dead Space universe. And we'll never know how their story was supposed to end, thanks to EA. I can't shit on them too much, because, like, Motive's doing a pretty solid job with Dead Space, and they know about the Oracles. I don't know if they know their true purpose. I doubt this video will shine any light on it. What was their end goal? But after a lot of research and speculation, I was able to piece together who they are and what they're doing, as proven in this video. Okay, I'm not really surprised no one's come out with a video about this, mainly because all the evidence of them is scattered across a DLC only available on Xbox, I think, a comic with them in a few pages, and a mention of them in a prequel game released on the Wii and bundled into the Dead Space 2 Ultimate Edition for PS3, and little bits of their handiwork across the rest of the games. Every time I've tried to make this video, I've messed up the script, or the audio has been putting me to sleep like Ultramere. Come on, that's so boring! God, I got halfway through and I'm like, oh my god, this is so boring. I think this is the most coherent I've gotten it, so we're gonna go with this one. Hopefully, if you've made it this far, I've answered your questions about the Oracles. And if I didn't, you know, leave them in the comments below. I'm sure I can answer them. You know what? If I can't answer a question, then go. I hope you enjoyed the video. More to come later. Not the next breakdown, but, you know, plenty of gameplay videos with me and Jeff. You know, we got Gears 3 coming up next, and we're putting out Dead Space Extraction. That's the shorter one. And, yeah, we got a few other games. And, you know, a lot of GMVs ready to come in next. I got, like, 4 of them I'm going to make here. You know, if I come up with some more memes, I'll come up with some more memes. I only got 3 so far. I got a couple more I'm thinking about. And there's another big project I want to finish before I get to the next breakdown. It's going to be an interesting project. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And enjoy yourself, god damn it. Yeah, the Oracles are playing 6-dimensional chess with the goddamn Combine, the Tyranids, the Emperor of Mankind, fucking the Brethren Moons, the fucking, oh, who else is out there? The Flood, the Interdimensional Flood, the
NL.
What the hell is that? Oh yeah, the working Cactor from Werkakanter. The fucking.
Don't forget about the Forerunners.
No, fuck the Forerunners. They're stupid.
And the Flood.
Yeah, I already said the Flood.